Dennis in Lansing, Michigan, watching us on Free Speech TV. Hey, Dennis, thanks for calling from my hometown. What's up?
Well, the town's changed, obviously, as you can see. I don't know if you know that, but anyway, what I would like to talk about,
it has changed.
In all seriousness,
okay,
is the economy. And this is, I mean, really dire. The thing is that the economy has come down to this, is that what we're basically trading in is paper with strings in them. And I guarantee you that that's going to come true. And if people think that the dollars that we trade with are worth anything, just think about this. If you were a country and you had money and you were going to use it, would you trade with a country that was $29 trillion in debt? The reason that we have trade is because what they want is they want a tank that they can park in their driveway so that they can keep their dictator in power. That's the only reason that we have an economy. Anything else that you can think of, where's it produced?
Well, there's two things here, Dennis. If I can just speak to what you've said so far, and we can talk about this. We've got 2 minutes to the break here. The first is that yeah, our debt is well over $20 trillion. And it's higher than it's been at any time in American history, except right after World War II. And Eisenhower paid off that debt. Truman and Eisenhower paid off that debt in the World War II debt anyway, piece of it, in less than 10 years. By growing the economy. And they did that with tariffs, and they did that with unions, and they did that with, rebuilding the United States and Europe and Japan and all kinds of things. But Japan has a debt, and has had a debt for over 30 years, that is 200% of GDP. And that hasn't hurt the yen at all. It hasn't hurt Japan's economy at all. The national debt is not a crisis. The right-wingers love to yell and scream about the national debt. And the reason that they want to yell and scream about the national debt is they don't want the federal government to be issuing debt instruments. They don't want the Treasury Department to be issuing debt. They want the big banks in New York to be issuing that debt. And right now, if you want to put your money someplace and have it comfortably, safely, and with no risk at all, earn 2 to 3% a year for the next 10, 20 years, you buy government treasuries. It's the safest investment in the world. And Japanese treasuries are probably the 4th or 5th safest investment in the world, behind the German bonds and some of the Northern European bonds. So, that's not an issue. What was the second point you made? I wanted to speak to that too. I'm sorry.
Well, the thing is that what are we producing?
What do you mean?
I mean, do we produce anything?
Yeah, we do. I mean, mostly, and there's a great piece in the New York Times today about it. It's right on the front page. It's titled "How China Took Over Your TV." And the way that countries evolve production systems and standards, typically they start with shoes and consumer goods, and they end up, 30, 40 years down the road as a fully developed power doing computer chips. And China has accelerated that process so radically that they are on the verge of overtaking the United States economically all over the world. And that's a pretty dangerous thing. That's Thucydides? I can never remember how to pronounce this Greek philosopher's name, but he said that wars always happen when a previously minor power has become the world's major power. That's, bang, you're going to have war. Dennis, thanks a lot for the call. We'll be right back.